Hey guys, it's Hector here, finally with the review of BABYMETAL Live in London. I should probably say BABYMETAL World Tour 2014 Live in London, because they always have to have these super long titles in their Blu-rays and all that. But at least they didn't add Apocalypse this time. So, this released a few months ago. I barely got it like this week, saw it and checked it out. I was a little hesitant to buy it because I saw some of the images of the concert and the stages looked really small, and I wasn't expecting a lot from this, because I usually like to get the live Blu-rays because they have all these pyrotechnics and these huge energetic dance routines and all that. But then I saw these, venues, and I was just like, I don't know. But most of the other Blu-rays kind of leaked online or kind of pirated online, and I was expecting to see some, video clips on like Dailymotion or YouTube or something, but there was nothing from Live in London that I could find. So I was like, alright, I'll just buy the Blu-ray, check it out. And that's what I did, and so I wanted to kind of review it for you guys. And I know my other BABYMETAL Blu-ray reviews would go on super long, so I wanted to try and keep this as short as I could. So let's look inside the little Blu-ray first. And here we have the BABYMETAL World Tour 2014 Live in London Blu-ray. So it has the Union Jack kind of on the front, but it's all in red, and then black, of course. And the back, it's all in English this time, of course, because Live in London. And here's the whole track listing. It's pretty much exactly the same, except the second concert has one more song, and song 4 and Onedari Dai Saksen is pretty much switched over. And that's pretty much it for the song listing. And of course down here we have the specs like usual. Approximately 164 minutes long, 1920 by 1080 for resolution, 24p, frames per second. But I want to say, because it says 16 by 9 aspect ratio, 1920 by 1080 pixels, and it does fit the whole widescreen, but there's actually black bars on the top and bottom of the screen, so it doesn't fill up the screen is what I'm trying to say. There's a little bit of black bars on the top and bottom. And then it's in color, MPEG-4 AVC codec, stereo linear PCM audio like always, 48 kilohertz, 24-bit. And let's take a look inside now. Same on the disc is the same as the cover, pretty much. And then it came with this, I think it's a sticker. I don't want to peel it off because, well, for one, I don't live in Europe at all, or in the UK, so it'd be kind of weird to display this somewhere, even though I like BABYMETAL and all that, but whatever. Anyways, and then we have this little pamphlet thingy, insert, whatever you want to call it, on the back. It says BABYMETAL R, Su Metal, UE Metal, and Moa Metal. And then let's open it up. It has the track list. First concert on both sides. Oh, this is English version. Japanese version, July 7th, the Forum. Second concert, November 8th. I think it's O2, right? Or is it 02? I don't know. Academy Brixton. I don't live in the UK, so please don't blame me. And I never even heard of that venue. Track listing for that second concert in English and in Japanese. And then BABYMETAL World Tour 2014. Japan, France, Germany, United Kingdom, Canada, and the USA. So I wondered if they're going to do any other Blu-rays in other areas. I don't know, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And now for the concerts themselves. So the first one started at the Forum on July 7th. I should note that the Kami band is there the entire time for both concerts, just like in Live in Budokan. But the members in the band get changed up from one concert to the next. In the first concert, I know the bass player and the drummer was the same from Live in Budokan, but in the second concert, well, the bass player is the same in both, but everybody else seems to have switched over. And I know I've seen the guitarist in the first concert on like Legend 1999, 1997, but the guitarists, well, both of them, on the second concert, I'm pretty sure they were in Live in Budokan. And then the drummer, I don't think I've ever seen that drummer before. And he was crazy, man. He was doing all this crazy things, and I don't know, you just have to see it to believe it. So when it comes to BABYMETAL singing, it was pretty, solid. It wasn't all the voices over the speakers like some of the past concerts. But it seemed like there were some songs where they had a few background vocals over the speakers, but just for, background. So all 13 songs from the Forum concert are actually found on the BABYMETAL self-titled album. So if you've heard the album a billion times, there won't really be anything too new on here. I say too new because there's some slight variances. Like at the beginning of Akatsuki, there's this new lengthier intro with piano and violin. But there's no piano and violinist on the stage, it's just over the speakers. And then, just like at Live in Budokan, at the beginning of Catch Me If You Can and Rondo of Nightmare, there's a kind of a lengthy intro from the Kami band. So they come up and do their thing, and since they're kind of like freestyling, it's a little bit different from the version at Live at Budokan. So, it's something to look forward to, I guess, if you're, want something different. But I should note, the intro on Catch Me If You Can is pretty much an intro to Catch Me If You Can, but the intro to Rondo of Nightmare is pretty much its own song, and even it's listed as its own song on one of the Live at Budokan CDs. I think it was the limited edition CD that was only available in Japan. And it's called Mischief of Metal Gods. And even if you select Rondo of Nightmare in the chapters selection over at the main menu, or if you do a little pop-up menu during the concert, you can do the pop-up menu and just choose a song and you can just jump to a song. If you jump to Rondo of Nightmare, it will just skip that solo intro thingy and go straight to the song. So you have to choose Rondo of Nightmare, then go back a chapter, and then it'll play that Mischief of Metal God song. And pretty much the exact same stuff goes with O2 Academy Brixton, or is it 02? I'm not sure. I've said this before. Same lineups of songs, except the 5th song is sung for instead of Onodari Daisaksen, and the 8th song is Onodari Daisaksen instead of song 4. So they just switch those up. Again, everything is the same. Long solo for Rondo of Nightmare, Catch Me If You Can. Slight differences because the band members kind of switch out and they just freestyle. And, oh yeah, I should also note that during some of the video packages that come on before the songs, back in the older concerts that were just in Japan, they were only in Japanese. And even on the Blu-rays, it was only Japanese. There were no English subtitles at all. So since this was playing in England, they finally had video packages all in English. And at the beginning of Ijime Dame Zettai, there's usually Tsumetal doing this kind of long intro where she's kind of just speaking on the microphone. But of course, in the Japanese version, she's only speaking Japanese, but in this version, she's speaking English. And of course, she's not a native English speaker, so she has this really, really heavy accent, but there's a whole video package accompanied by it with words on there, so just in case you're not entirely sure what she's saying, there are words on the screen that kind of relate to the song. And then so after the 13 songs on the second concert, the 14th song is the brand new song, Road of Resistance. I think it was the first time that they played it live, and I know it's the first time they actually recorded it and put it out on a Blu-ray. And then about, maybe a month ago, they actually released a live concert version of that song, but it was at a Japanese concert, and they put it on their official BABYMETAL YouTube channel. So if you haven't seen that song played live, and you don't have live in London, you can just go over to their YouTube channel, BABYMETAL Official, and see them perform the same song. And they played to the crowd a little bit during that song, during the whoa, whoa part. And even though the crowd was all packed together in the small venue, they were pretty energetic, and they were doing all these mosh pits and crowd surfing and all this kind of stuff. And they were like really into the whole sing with me and you guys sing, so that was cool. And also not at the beginning, during the song Gimme Chocolate, they were actually playing to the crowd on that song too. If you guys remember, I reviewed the BABYMETAL Mega Bundle or whatever that they had when they re-released their self-titled debut album. And I had that flag and this poster. The poster is actually from O2 Academy Brixton, that concert, and it was at the beginning of Ijime Dame Zettai. But, or I should say, in addition to that, the Gimme Chocolate song that was played live at O2 Academy Brixton is the same version that was on the re-released CD. So remember, the re-released CD has a Gimme Chocolate live version and Road of Resistance, but it's not a live version for Road of Resistance. So that version was actually taken from the second concert on Live in London. One more thing, I just want to speak on the quality of the video in both concerts. On the forum, the quality of the video was pretty grainy, and as I said while I was checking out this Blu-ray, there are bars on the top and bottom of the screen, but they're really small bars. They're not huge bars like it's a widescreen movie, just small bars. But the film itself is pretty grainy during the first concert. I guess maybe because it's kind of dark and so they kind of have to compensate it and the cameras aren't top notch, I suppose. And in addition to that, there were no pyrotechnics at all. There was like a little fire extinguisher thing kind of popping up, you know, kind of smoke gun or whatever you want to call it, on a few songs. And the lighting was mostly just white lights on top of them, like the whole time pretty much. There were a few songs where it went pretty dark, and then there are a couple songs where they had some red lighting, but there was still white lighting, so it was still pretty bright. They did try to use like a strobe light during Gimme Chocolate, but it was like so dark and the camera angle was so tight that it was like almost distracting. But then they turned on the white light above them with the strobe light and it was a little bit better to see, I guess. So the production value and the whole, all that kind of stuff, it was pretty lame during the forum. But in the second concert, it wasn't grainy and they had more, you know, different lighting. Unlike the first concert, there was more reds and darks and all that stuff. But for some reason, the video quality looked really, really pixelated. Like it was made with this really, really crappy digital camera or at this lower resolution and was trying to upscale to 1080p or something. I don't even know what was going on, but the quality looked terrible in my opinion. So all in all, I'd say Live in London, it's okay. It is definitely not as good as Live at Budokan. You can argue that it's good as Apocalypse Legend 1999, 1997, whatever the heck it's called. Because those two concerts were really, really good, but they didn't have the live band during the entire concerts at 1999, 1997, whereas in Live in London, they had the live band the entire, both set lists, I should say. And then at the same time in Live in London, there weren't any special songs that were just in the live versions like at pretty much all the other Blu-rays, except Legend IDZ, I think. Well, I think there's an alternate version of Headbanger in one of the concerts in Legend IDZ. But there aren't any different songs in Live in London except for Road of Resistance, which is a brand new song. But as I said, you can also see that song on the official BABYMETAL album. So it's hard to say if I really recommend this video or this Blu-ray. If you really want a great live BABYMETAL live Blu-ray, then get the Live at Budokan Blu-ray, because that one at this time is the best Blu-ray from BABYMETAL. So I guess that's it. That's my opinion, that's my review on it. If you still want to buy it, if you're a hardcore BABYMETAL fan like me, then you can go ahead and buy it. I will leave a link in the description to an Amazon listing for this, so you can just click that link, go over there, buy it. And if you buy the Blu-ray using my link, I'll actually get a small cut of it, and it won't cost you anything extra. It'll just help me keep this channel going and keep my website going. And I do plan to write a more thorough review of this Blu-ray on my website, so you can always go over to my website. There will be a link again in the description box, and hopefully I'll get this written review up soon. And I will add a ton of images too, because in my other Blu-rays, in my other BABYMETAL Blu-rays, I usually add a pretty big picture gallery from the concerts. So look forward to that, I guess. And if you like this video or if you appreciated it, you can give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more Japanese product reviews or Japanese related videos, you can always subscribe to my channel, because more will be coming in the future.